Not really.
No.
What about wrestling?
Yeah.
I don't mind watching it, but I'm
Are we wrestling?
wrestling.
Are we
You
wrestling?
gonna go live?
Or are we talking to these people about cigars?
Are we live?
Oh.
I can't tell if we're live.
We can.
Yeah, we are.
Oh boy.
What do you need?
He's got all the junk on the screen. It's running real slow on there too.
You've got a big mouse.
Ooh, it's running.
That's what she said.
Way, what is up?
Says you are live. With
Yeah.
zero watching. Fantastic.
Yeah. So we are just gonna wait a minute to let it kind of hot buttery ass, that kind of stuff. Just let it simmer.
We're finally catching up on a little bit of the Wi-Fi. We're good.
Wi-Fi. Why is it on Wi-Fi?
Well, it's really not Wi-Fi, high-speed internet, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Smoking Underground. Okay, so that was the annoying part. I wanted to get that out of the way.
Good deal.
What's up, Gary?
God, what's going on? How are you?
Nerfing. I am excited for this. I
I'm
was not
stoked.
expecting
I'm stoked.
an open wrapper.
Yeah, right. Yeah, a little different.
It's definitely different. You know what I like about it is that exactly nosing it.
Ooh, you
Nosing
smell
it.
that? You smell
That smells
that?
phenomenal.
That smells good.
Phenomenal.
Man.
That security thing on your laptop's probably what's slowing it down. By the way,
Yeah,
the feed on our end.
I don't even see the security thing.
It's the little shield down at the bottom.
Yeah, a little
blinking.
window security thing down at the bottom down there.
Oh,
Click on
yeah.
that. Get rid of that crap.
That'll
Yeah,
slow up
pop
everything.
that out. There you go. Good job. Tag.
So,
See ya.
welcome everybody to Smoking Underground. I'm Devin. This is Gary and John on the other side of the multiverse. We are smoking an interesting cigar today, the Alfonso
Yes.
Extra
Yes.
Anejo.
Yes, indeed.
And
Heck yeah.
the interesting thing about this one right now is it has an open wrapper on the end, literally open right on the end, that I wasn't expecting, but I absolutely love since
I do
Gary
too.
taught me to shove cigars up my
There
nose.
you go, man. Put a nose hair in it and take a whiff.
Yeah, and this smells amazing. This smells premium, like hardcore.
It's delicious.
Well, it's one of the newest premium selections we've added to the Cigars and More Vitola family.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
By the same manufacturer of the Byron and the Atabase.
Yes, indeed.
Ooh.
Aged 5 years before they even get out on the shelf. Man, Ecuador and Connecticut on the outside. They got Peruvian and Nicaragua on the inside. But yet, here's
Oh,
the
my
thing,
goodness.
is that on this particular blend, it does not have an exact blend. They will not let you know the exact blend. Okay, so it's not necessarily of how much of what, but they will not let you know the exact blend of everything.
Are we smoking the small one or are we smoking the bigger one?
No, the small one.
The small one.
Yeah. And the good thing about that, I say good thing, the kind of weird thing about these things is they go in different orders. Actually, they go in backward order.
Mhm.
So you'll have normally a number one is the real long one. So
Right.
like Monte Cristo number one or Davidoff number one or whatever it may be. They're normally double Coronas that are really long.
Yeah.
And anyway, but these are backwards. So this is actually the number one, I think, here. And then, of course, it goes up. And I think we got 5 different sizes.
Right.
So it goes all the way up, number one, and it graduates, number 2, number 3, number 4.
Yeah.
And, of course, the longest one, the double Corona, is number 5.
Right.
Yeah.
And pretty
They
phenomenal, I'd say.
Yeah, there it is.
I still can't get over the smell, Gary, because the
isn't that
smell
beautiful?
is
Beautiful, isn't it?
it makes me think
Man.
of
I want my house smelling like
fancy,
this.
rich, like this is the Davidoff. This is the high end stuff.
Right.
This ain't your hypnotic.
You know what? I had a customer come in the shop, and he does the Atabay, and he said, I'm telling you, man. He said, I do the Monte Cristo Eagle, which is a Cuban blend, and he says, dude, he says, I can't tell the difference. I cannot tell the difference.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, I think this thing has got. Now it's just me,
Yeah.
but I think it's got a little bit of.
I love the
Something.
size of this. I'm not sure if John wants to share any form of a price point. I didn't Didn't much appreciate the price point if that's what it is for this size. But I may change my tune by the time I smoke it.
I want to know your opinion on that freaking band.
This goes along with the classiness of the whole
It
thing of the
does.
smell.
It really
Because
does, doesn't it?
no joke, sitting in your humidor, just
Oh,
sitting down like that,
Yeah.
that screams
Dude. Yeah.
quality.
Classy.
Classy.
Yeah.
This thing is fully dressed.
Freaking A.
This thing is fully dressed. It's got 3 bands on
It
it.
does that
Shoot
indeed.
me one of those unopened ones over there.
Yeah, fully dressed. It's got a nice. It's a gloss gold. It's not even a matte gold.
Right.
Everything's de-glossed, or embossed, I should say. It's got some, I guess you'd call those floral patterns. It's
Yep.
very French looking.
Yeah.
With a navy blue. It's got some deep forest green, some silvers. The bottom, the footband is
Beautiful.
bright silver.
Beautiful.
Like, I mean, you're talking like polished silver is what it looks like. It's classy. It is definitely classy above everything else. And for the price point that this thing is, their presentation is immaculate. Right where it should be for that price point.
I'm trying to make heads or tails of what's on the footer.
It looked like a cityscape.
Right.
Yeah.
There looks like there's a fort down at the bottom.
Okay, is it?
An old time fort with a an old like medieval looking lighthouse on it.
My description here from the internets.
From the internets.
The latest from Nelson Alfonso Selected Tobacco, which,
Yes,
like I
sir.
said, are the manufacturers or the distributors now for Atabey and Byron.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Alfonso. First cigar to feature his name. The Alfonso Extra Añejo. I think
Yes.
that's the one we've got.
That's it. You're right.
Features
You're
a
dead on it.
flawless Ecuador wrapper over Ecuador binder with fillers consisting of Nicaraguan, Lajero, and Peruvian tobaccos.
Come on, daddy.
And whatever else, because like Atabey, they don't quite divulge everything.
No, they don't.
The cigars are rolled and aged in various cedar rooms before final aging in an oak-filled aging room.
And you can tell.
The-
You can tell.
And like Gary said, they go through this process for 5 years. The result is one of the most incredible cigars you have ever experienced.
Oh, yeah.
Supposedly medium in strength, even with all the Lajero.
Yeah.
And what I
You
keep
need
hearing
that.
about these things,
Taking that home with me.
they're probably supposedly one of the best things we sell. Now, they do have a substantial price point.
Right. But,
But,
I have a feeling, John, that it's gonna live up to that price.
You
point.
can put a level on the roll of this stuff.
So I just did a
Golly.
small punch. I didn't want to do a wide mouth because I want to slow down, and it punched beautifully. And how did that V cut for you?
Like butter.
Like butter.
I didn't go quite the full depth of the Calibri V cutter.
Yeah.
And that's about a half for that I chose to do this.
Dude.
I really like the smaller size cigars anymore, but
They have to have master rollers rolling this.
Yeah. This is
have to.
gorgeous.
They have to.
Like I'm telling you, just the leaf, just the friggin' wrap on it. It looks like it almost doesn't look like it's real.
I mean, the caps on here, you can almost measure them with a millimeter ruler.
Yeah. They're perfect.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Oh, and you can smell that cedar, and then what'd you say, the oak barrel?
Oak, yeah.
You can smell all that on the cigar. It's
you can get it off the foot and with the V cut. It's just
yeah. All right, I can't. Oh, let you go ahead and light up first before me, sir.
Do you know what I meant to do before we even started?
What's that?
fill your lighter.
Fill my freaking lighter. I am drained. I'm dead.
Well, you can use that
Like,
Arc of Fire lighter
That's right.
hopefully,
provided to you by the Arc of
Yeah.
Fire
You're gonna cut
Gaming
it?
Network.
hopefully, no. I was thinking about just letting it go like it was.
Say that again.
Provided to us by the Arc of Fire Gaming Network.
That's
Of
right.
course.
That's right. That's right. So, the libation of choice tonight, because of what we're drinking or what we're smoking, is the Glenfiddich 18 small batch reserve. This is an absolutely astonishingly good whiskey, Scotch whiskey. You can't go wrong with this one. You will always enjoy it. I never understood, John, I don't like Scotch. What?
Yeah.
Like you'll drink Jameson, you'll drink any other quote unquote whiskey, but you don't like Scotch? When somebody says that, I go, have you had Scotch before? Like, have you drank Scotch before?
And I will point out, we keep talking price point. A pour of that Glenfiddich at Cigars and More 280 or Cigars and More Vitola Tuscaloosa.
Yep.
And one of these with appropriate tip will run you just about a Benjamin Franklin.
Yep, I would say so. But I can tell you from somebody who drinks high quality Scotch, you don't want to pair this with anything not spectacular. You could probably pair this with something lower than this and it'd be good. You could do an Ardbeg, a 5-year, something like that. But when I came in today, I was thinking of drinking a Kronenberg, the beer. That was
really?
Yeah, I was literally going, you know what? I think I want a beer today. And then when I found out what we were smoking, I went, well, not having a beer today. Because you can't drink a Kronenberg and smoke this.
Right.
Can you be quiet, Devin? I don't talk when you're having sex.
Oh Lord, that was good.
No, it was kind of weird. Actually,
it was kind of weird
that John would be even anywhere in your house or car while you're doing that.
Oh, now I got to check the security at my house.
There you are.
Oh, without even pulling on it, just the smell of the char.
Yes, indeed. Dude.
This can I dare say, having not tasted it yet,
dude,
this is what you smoke for. This is the kind of cigar,
dude, wow,
that is going to continually pull you back to cigars. And when people look at cigar smoking as you're like, you clearly haven't had something like this.
Yes, the great point, and my point as well is that the Alfonso, and of course, the Atabey is good. It really is. You're the Byron and so on. But I would suggest, if you have an accomplishment that you have majorly overcome, whether it be graduating college,
right,
or something really deep that you said, hey, listen, I'm going to take the leap. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to finish it. Flip a bird to life and say, hey, no, it's done. I'm doing this. And once you complete that, that's it right there. Get that, because this is worth every nickel of what you have earned and put into and invested in. That is your baby right there.
Yeah, I kind of wish the price point on this smaller one was actually a Toro size. Was longer.
Ironic you say that.
Well, let me run down.
But
the size we are smoking, the number one is this little itty bitty thing. It's a $30 price point.
Right.
The number two.
God.
Let's see here. Let me get this so I can give you the dimensions. The number two, which is a 5x52,
right,
is a $35 price point.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I was wondering.
6x54, which would be your Toro, the number 3 size,
right,
is a $35 price point.
Not
Excellent.
bad.
I'm still sold.
Not bad.
It's 30. I would spend 35 because I kind of like a Toro. I probably would do the 6x54 before I do the 5x52. That's just the size I'm partial to right now. 6.75 by 56 is a $40 price point, and the 7.5 by 58 and the 9 by 50, which we do have 2 samples of those, are a $50 price point.
Sorry to interrupt you. I just did a retro hail.
Oh yeah,
that was the smoothest retro hail
Boy,
I've ever tasted.
I bet that.
Because typically there's this like tingle, this like kind of a harsh tingle, but you still get the flavor.
It's like belching a Dr. Pepper.
This was smooth as butter, right out my nose. And then with the combination of this Glenfiddich 18, woo!
Oh, touche on the retro head. Touche. Very, very good. Man, there's a lot of dynamics in that.
Yes, it is.
You're coming in to buy a Christmas cigar this week.
This would be it.
Dude, this is it.
Make your budget $50. Buy this and buy the Oliva we smoked before.
Yeah, I agree.
And
they're classy looking.
Yeah,
They are. They're sure. I mean, even without the band, they're still classy. Oh,
if you just bought your first Lear Jet, go ahead and buy one of those 9x50s.
If I was making six figures, this would be a box of something I would purchase.
You do make six figures. Don't give me that crap.
Counting the decimal points, yeah.
So you're the guys that quote me an $82,000 deck. So.
I don't make that kind of money.
Oh Lord! Well, with no steps. Oh my gosh!
Careful, because the owner's son watches this, and he knows y'all, and you know him.
Well, then let me tell him a little story.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Hang on.
Golly, every pull on this has been.
I know.
Like I've had the Xeno Platinum. I've had that $100 Xeno Platinum, which was good. Don't get me wrong. And I've had my favorite stick, the Padrones. I've had the $35 ones. I've had a $50 ones. Thus far, this has been the most dynamic taste.
Agreed.
What are you getting off of it?
Agreed.
That's a good question. Let's see what I'm getting off of it. Let me clean my palate. Let me try it. I don't know. It's hard to focus.
I'm getting a floral.
There, yeah.
A little, just a smidgen hint of caramel.
Pitted prune.
No. Let's see. Oh my God.
I would say this is a good end cap for 2022 right here. Like, I know we got some other episodes to do, but as far as the highlight of the end of the year, this is pretty friggin' fantastic.
And this might be the most expensive cigar we've smoked this year.
You think so? We've done the Andalusian Bull.
That's 20.
Oh, you're right. It is 20.
It's a dialed down vanilla.
And it's also probably one of the smallest we've smoked this year.
Is it weird that I'm getting, I'm smoking, I can't exactly taste it, but I'm getting a meat flavor. Like that charred, like that nice, that creamy, when you get a nice steak. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I do.
It's there.
Yeah. Man, this is nice.
A juicy steak, no burn. Just
right.
A little bit brown. A little bit brown on the outside.
A little reverse char.
A little bit of smoked oak.
Yep. Then, which is kind of a given since it was an oak.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to sit down with a bottle of red.
You know
Would be
you know it.
Perfect.
Or some port.
And I don't smoke or I don't drink wines that are aged in stainless steel, so it would be perfect.
I would like to have a nice.
I've never heard that.
Nice bottle of port.
Well, I despise wine that's aged in stainless.
I can't say I don't know if I've ever had one before, to be honest with you.
It's just such a sharp cutting edge. I can have less than a half teaspoon and tell you if it's oak or stainless.
Really? Now I'm going to be paying attention.
I have people, when I go to wine tasting, they can't believe that I can get it.
Yeah.
And when last time I traveled to Virginia with my girlfriend, we went into a vineyard and they made you buy a flight. It's like $20-some for a flight.
Right.
So I got reds. She drinks whites, 6 glasses a piece. There's partial pours. Hated every single one.
Really?
Really?
Biggest ripoff we ended up going to a different vineyard, which if you go to Monticello, everybody tells you to go to this stupid tavern, skip the damn tavern. It's too
Really?
commercialized.
Okay.
It used to be cool 20 years ago and it was niche. Now it's like going to, if you're in Birmingham, Nicky's West, except they give you like a lead cup to drink out of. Next door to it, you go up to the top of this mountain. It's a apple orchard and they also have a vineyard. And I said to the guy, Brandy got a glass. And I said, yeah, I'd like to try something, but I want a little bit of a sample. He goes, oh, I got you here. And he poured me, maybe 1 ounce glasses and maybe poured me a quarter of that. Then I took it. Nope, don't like that stainless. What? I said, you'd age that in stainless. And he goes, how did you know? Yeah. And we went through a couple more. And I actually ended up walking out of there with 3 bottles of a white. But they had a really good white, very rarely, very sweet. Too sweet for my girlfriend. But it's just one of those things. I know I don't go to wine tastings to drink a free glass of wine. I go to sample it, and I'm good with quarter ounce. I'll tell you if I'm going to like the bottle or not.
Right.
So, well, now we know sommelier John.
Yeah.
Would,
good commentary there.
It would
man.
be he'd be the one to carry with a wine tasting. Now.
I went to the Golden Age for the first time a couple of weeks ago.
Is that a nursing home?
No, it's a wine tasting.
Okay.
They do charcuterie boards.
Oh, that's right.
Now, my buddy Daniel and I, we didn't stay. We just bought the wine. We
It's
split a
killer
bottle
place,
of
man.
something French that you can't get at Publix, is what he told me. Because I looked for it. He goes, I actually called him up and I went, hey, what's that bottle of wine we bought the other day? He goes, where are you at? I'm at Publix. You're not going to find that at Publix. I'm like, oh, okay. It was a $50 bottle of wine.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I want to take some friends because he was telling me about what it's like when that place is bumping. We went there middle day.
It's
and he
rolling,
goes,
man.
it is such a great event to sit down, get a charcuterie board with the cheeses and the meats, and then just try different reds, just try different wines.
Yeah.
He goes, it'll change your life.
Yeah.
And we're going to do it one day.
Oh, yeah. It's something you have to do it about once a week.
That's what I would like to do.
Yeah, it's an end of week type thing where you really look forward to something like that.
And then the cigar place being right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we what we did is we went to the Broken Egg, got breakfast, went to Vitola Cigars right when it opened.
Right.
Enjoyed a cigar for about an hour, and then we went and got a bottle of wine. Dude, it was a like bro
That was on a Saturday that I didn't work.
No, we went on a Monday.
Did you work on Monday? Okay.
Yeah, I have Mondays off for the rest of this year.
I got you. Good.
Like,
man,
like, bro, we hadn't hung out in a minute. Let's go do something.
Dude, yeah.
If you're going to go wine shopping in Birmingham, I don't know the places to go, but for some stupid reason, I had to go to Piggly Wiggly in Mountain Brook. And I can't remember exactly where in Mountain Brook.
Crestline Village.
Yep.
Crestline Village.
They had a very impressive one.
Piggly Wigglies usually have really good selection.
Yeah.
And in Tuscaloosa, I don't hang out too much. Not Tuscaloosa, Huntsville. I think it's Huntsville. There is a Target up there that has a wine department to die for.
Really?
And
not surprised.
And I can't remember what store. There's a Walmart somewhere in this state that has like 15 aisles of wine.
Right. It's a luxury Walmart.
Oh, is it like? Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's all kinds of exotic stuff.
Yeah,
you don't see the Walmart people in there.
No. This is a standard Walmart supercenter, and I can't remember what city it's in.
Definitely not here.
I go to so many of the damn things anymore.
Montgomery? No, wouldn't be Montgomery.
That's not my territory.
It's
a stupid one. It's not like in Huntsville. It's not in Birmingham. It's
somewhere like in Madison, somewhere like that. Or
it might be in Madison.
Really?
You aren't joking about that either.
Wow, man! I'm telling you.
I finally took the wrapper off of this thing.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
It is. If there is a stereotypical,
look at that bird.
Yeah, look at that. If there's a stereotypical cigar, this is the spitting image of a perfect cigar.
You've got to wonder the wrapper selection, because we all know Opus has some of the nicest wrappers. This
Almost
thing
makes
doesn't look
some
like it has a
beautiful
vein in it,
wrappers.
or
No,
I mean,
not at
it's-
all.
No. I mean,
there's one, but
So-
I mean,
but I mean,
John, check this out now.
yeah,
Look at the ash on mine right now.
yeah. Isn't
That
crazy?
is perfect white.
Yeah.
There's no brown in it, and it's incredibly tight.
Yes. Got a crowning that a king would be proud to wear. Right there.
This
Ooh.
is.
Man.
You said this is up for one of the
this
cigars
is
of the year.
this is one of our cigar of the years, and actually,
Oh, yeah.
this is a production cigar. Should be available all the time.
Even though it says limitada, it is on production.
Now,
So,
if I were to compare this one with the Oliva we had last week or the 2 weeks ago,
right.
I would say they can't really compare to each other because their price points are so drastically different. But right now, this one is winning. In my opinion.
Without a doubt.
If you
Without
no
a
price,
doubt.
not a thing. This one is winning.
Yeah. Just the looks alone, the sheen coming off the wrapper itself
Yeah.
is amazing. It's amazing.
This.
I mean, look
this
at, look
is
at
what
the
you show
shine.
for.
Yeah,
Look at the shine.
if Magic City Podcast Productions could pick up 1 or 2 more editing clients,
Yeah.
I might actually be able to enjoy one of these. a
There
month.
you go, man. Yeah.
See, I'd like to, in my repertoire of my day, of my life, of a month, I'd like to incorporate a few things. Let me go into a little detail here. I'd like to have a massage once a week because I hear it's really healthy for you.
Nice.
I'd like to go to Perry's once a week, and I'd like to smoke one of these once a week.
And drive your McLaren to these things. I can't
Sure.
blame you. Can't blame you at all. Yeah. Maybe switch out to the Hennessy every so often.
And I'd like to take my special lady with me to all of these things.
True. Even that one with a big Adam's apple.
It's I mean, even the burn. Oh my goodness gracious!
Yeah. Dude,
Thank
this
you,
is
by the
yeah,
way, John, for selecting
big
this.
time.
You,
Thank
can,
you.
you can thank Harris. This is one of his
Good job
nominations
there.
for cigar. of the
Well,
year.
Harris is 100% correct. Thank you,
My
sir.
goodness gracious alive.
I'll be honest. I question some of the stuff Harris brings into the shop. Not going to tell you what, but I do. This was a.
This was a doozy.
Yeah, he could
This-
probably get rid of some of the higher line stuff and
Yeah.
just live with
And
this.
then this right here would easily take
Yeah.
anything that you got and move it out, put it in samplers,
It would.
move that and sell this.
Because no joke, at the price point that this is at,
Right.
there's stuff that's way more expensive
Thank
that
you.
is not as good as this.
Beautifully said.
Still good, but not as good
But
as
not
this.
as good as this. My God. Mm.
I don't know if like I said, I'm enjoying the smaller Corona size cigars anymore in my life. And like when I work a shift, I get something big and obnoxious, not too large in diameter though. I don't know if I'd want to do one of these really in the 9x50.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
This-
A 9
this-
by 50? Really?
That 9x50, I don't know
Yeah.
if I'd want to do that.
It would be, what do you think it'd be too smooth or just too much?
I think it'd be too much.
Too much.
Yeah, I think the
I-
one you're
I-
holding on to is about the largest one.
Oh,
we got.
I would go the size above. The
I
size.
would enjoy doing the 9 mainly because I would like to feel the complexity go down, how it would change, how if it does change,
Right.
how
That-
smooth it would be. This is stupid smooth.
I'm trying to. That would be like. This is. There's so much complexity in this little one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
Very
just
much
like
so.
overwhelming the brain.
Yeah, yeah.
It
yeah.
is. You
It really
so-
is.
I guess we'll just have to
might
smoke
get
more than one to understand how good.
Oh
it
yeah,
is.
that's true.
I'm-
I
I'm-
vote we do it next week.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, we might have to just to make sure we didn't get a bad one.
Yeah,
That's right.
just
I would enjoy the longer one just to find out how the tastes change and with the
Oh,
cool,
I'd
the
do that
one
coolness.
right there
I
with
would
Toro.
too.
But
I would too. So
But,
what
yeah.
would, in your opinion, John, it's yours, but what size would you think this would be the perfect size of?
where did my phone go to? It's the size up from this one. I think the perfect size would be the 5x52. The
Yeah.
number 2.
I think so. I agree.
Wow.
I agree. I feel like this.
You know, this is what I've got in front of me, which does a lot of good to you people
Right.
that are watching.
Yeah.
this guy.
There it is. That's the Toro, right?
No,
Is that the Toro
this
or
is
that
the 6.75 by 56.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
This is the number. No, this is the number 4. Yep.
Okay,
This is
so
the
it's Toro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, and I think I agree with you because this size is for I don't have a lot of time.
Oh, and you don't do that. Not with this.
But I mean, like
I
I
see where
don't
you're coming from.
like.
do.
I want the bigger
do.
one for like
Right.
this is we're here for
Yeah.
the rest of the night.
Yes, sir.
This one is we are smoking before we're about to go out to eat.
the reason I want the bigger one. This isn't quite enough the way I smoke a cigar. I'm not a guy that smokes my cigar with roach clips.
Right.
I smoke and I end with an inch and a half of the cigar left. So I'm only going to get 2 inches out of this.
Yeah.
And I want the little bit longer one to have 3.5 inches of the
That's-
cigar.
I started doing that, by the way, John.
That's
I
what
took
she
your
said.
advice, and it's like, when my thumb can fit on it like that, that's
It starts to get, to me, starts to get too hot when you
Right.
get below after that, and you start horrible tasting on your tongue, and it ruins the whole pleasure you got out of the first 2
Right.
inches, 4 inches, 6 inches. It's
Yeah. So is this one even as good as it is? I'd still end at about where my fingers are at, and just right above here.
yeah,
And that's what I'm saying is about time.
I'm a two finger guy, so
Yeah.
I got small fingers.
Well,
so.
y'all can smoke that thing halfway if you want to, but I'm gonna burn my fingers on this one right here. Not to mention, probably singe my stash on this one.
Well, I've got.
Man,
I can roach clip it if I want to.
Oh, I won't roach clip it. I don't.
Mm,
But yeah, it's a perfectly smooth burn.
it is. I
mean,
think a good criteria for what you're talking about is the moment it changes flavor because of how small it is, you're done. Don't even. You're like as soon as you detect it, just puff it out, put it out. Done.
mine is change of temperature. It
On your
just
fingers?
becomes hot. It comes hot on my tongue.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's
Okay.
where I quit.
That's when things start changing, doesn't it?
Yeah. And once it gets hot on my tongue,
Right.
And that's the one
it's
reason
time to
we
get
do-
my Starbucks Frappuccino out of the fridge and
Yeah.
clean the
I
palate
clean it.
and go to something
Go
else.
something else.
And that's the
Right
reason you
on.
need to slow down with one of these too, and keep
Oh,
the ash on as long as possible
Man,
to
yeah.
help bring in cooler air
Right
to
on.
make the longevity of the whole thing better.
Right. It's common anyway to do a draw off a cigar about every 60 seconds. Give it about 60 seconds to breathe a little bit, and then after that, draw off of it again.
So what I've been doing to try to keep myself is like I want to puff on it now, is I'll just
Flow out.
blow out just a little bit,
Good job.
and that's to remind me
Good job.
you got to wait another second.
Well, it's like the trick that Oscar likes to talk about. You don't want the end of the cigar wet.
Right.
And
Until
you
it
guys
dries.
could feel the end of the cigar, and it would feel just like it came out of the.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right there.
Good. All these are
it's
good little tips.
Yeah.
To keep yourself slowing down. Because this isn't cigarettes, y'all. I even smoke cigarillos sometimes at work. My buddy Josh and I. Well, we just finished packs of Davidoff ones, which were great, by the way. I mean, they're not Davidoff cigars, but they're still way better than some of the cheaper shit we bought to try before, which was bad. But those we're smoking for about 15 to 20 minutes. We're standing outside talking and stuff like that, but it's still quick.
Yeah.
Overall.
Let's chat a little bit about something other than this cigar, because we
Gotcha.
did have 3 or 4 little things we wanted
Right.
to touch on.
exactly.
We might not get into some of the topics because this sucker's sure been distracting.
It
Yes,
has
sir,
been,
it
and
has.
wonderfully
But
so.
Oh, man. Yeah.
What you want to talk about, John?
Well, we're talking about how expensive this cigar is.
Right. Yep.
Um,
Is it all right if I mention it again? How much it is? Or you want?
no,
It's about $30. For
For this size.
this size.
this is a 4.75 inch long
Right.
cigar.
And-
And so from
AKA
what you were
number
telling
one.
me, it goes from
So
30.
this is a 4x50. I'm sorry.
So it goes from like 30 to 40 in the range.
$5 increments till you get to the top 2, and the top 2, the 7.5 by 58 or the 9 by 50 or $50.
Okay, there you go. So,
So it caps at 50.
right. And you know what's funny is I agree with both of y'all about the length and potentially losing the greatness in it being this long. but I still want to try it.
You
to see if that's
doggone
true.
Skippy. You
just to see if it's true.
I would.
And
Put
to let
about
you
3
know, that's
fingers in that
anywhere
right
between
there.
$7.50 and $12.50 a box.
Whoo-wee. So just think, because if you're going to buy a box, you're also going to buy something like this. You just know you're going to spend about $1,000 because you're going to buy a libation.
But it's going to last you for a while.
It is.
You know, it is. And it's going to be worth it on top of that.
No, it isn't.
If ever the day,
What is it?
If I
You
had
don't
a
think
box
so?
of these, I might be out on my deck
Oh,
every
man.
day.
if ever
You
the
know
day,
it. You know it. That's 25
kick,
days.
Kick
that's
back
it.
in the chair, looking at the lake and the ducks.
Come
Yeah.
on, baby. Come on.
if
Dad.
ever the day I get married, the cigar that's going to be at my wedding will be something like this.
And it will be the last one you ever have if you get married.
Nah.
Okay.
My
better-
ash.
she better be
my
okay
Ash
with it.
just jumped.
Yep.
Mm.
So
I'm
I
gonna,
am the
sorry,
last
sorry,
ash.
all the listeners.
I am the
I had
last
a-
ash.
I had to blow on the.
Still even.
Yep.
Not relit. Just right there, even. Right there.
But I was going to warn everybody that cigar prices are on the rise.
Right.
I hate talking about cigar prices,
Right. But we've got a big hike that's coming up.
do-
When's it scheduled?
God.
the new pricing's coming out from all the manufacturers now. So buy them now because
Buy now.
They've changed the way cigars are taxed. And then of course labor, everything else is a little bit more expensive. Shipping's a little bit more expensive.
Right.
Tobacco prices have went up exponentially for some reason. There's all kinds of reasons, but
Right.
you're going to see a noticeable change in the price of cigars, and it's going
to become more of a hobby.
It hurts. I mean, I'll be honest, it hurts.
Yeah.
I mean,
More to come.
So
More
I
to
got a
come.
question
Good.
for you about that and the potential legislation that went through, or whatever it is. Will the tax in some way add some form of legitimacy to cigars, as opposed to what the fight that's been fighting, that now that they're doing something different on it?
no.
Is there anything beneficial to trying to see the silver lining? I know it's hard to see the silver lining on a price hike, but is there any benefit potentially in the long term from this tax on the cigars?
Are you a military contractor?
Not that I'm allowed to tell you about.
Then no.
Okay.
No, there's really no rhyme or reason for the cigar. I'm trying not to get too political, but yeah, you just
No.
you're getting reamed.
Okay.
Freak.
They changed the way it's taxed. And you're probably going to see some adjustments in a year or two where you might see a couple of cigars go down in price because of it, but then you're going to see some go up because cigars are now, instead of taxed when they're imported by the stick, they're taxed by weight.
Gotcha.
And they go by the weight of the shipment right now as opposed to the weight of the cigar. In
So you're gonna see
theory,
less boxes.
theory, a Robusto cigar should be taxed less than a 6x60, but they're going to say, "Oop, that weighs 8 tons. This is what you pay."
Right.
And that's where a lot of this price increase is coming from. Write your congressman if you really object. But I hate saying it. I hate talking these numbers, but anything in the humidor is going up at least $1.
Right.
And some of them many dollars.
And I think we're going to stop seeing as many cigar boxes
Let it out.
because, I mean, that honestly makes sense. I understand,
Yes, you
but
are.
you're going to stop seeing cigar boxes.
I don't think so. There's
don't
been
think
a
so?
lot. There's been a lot of conversation on that.
If it's based on weight,
Or you talking about
Tobacco weight. Tobacco
yeah.
weight, not the weight of the cigar box.
oh, so they don't even, that's calculated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought
Good
you
to
were
know.
talking about- I thought you were talking about brands and not actual
No.
boxes.
No, I mean,
there's
like
been a
physical
lot of
boxes.
talk that and we've talked about it on this show before. Would I like to buy a box of 24 or a bundle of 25 for the same price? I'm gonna buy a bundle of 25.
Right,
You
hardcore.
know? Or would you get a 10% discount if you bought it as a bundle instead of a box?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, once you buy your first box, and you have a box to store those cigars in, if you're that kind of person, why do you need 14 of them? I mean, we're sitting in a room here
with nothing but cigar boxes.
with 500 cigar boxes,
Oh Lord,
which are all going to get loaded into the back of a Toyota pickup and go to somebody's basement and sit there until that house burns down. It's ridiculous. Your favorite cigar, Padron, will actually give you $1 a box if you ship your box back to them, and they reuse their boxes. Unfortunately, it costs you more than $1 to ship the box back, but they will at least offer you that if you're into recycling. If you like to pay $6 to make $1, hey, I don't know. There's probably some way you can make money doing that. I don't know.
I guess
for your local Padron box recycling.
That's right.
Yeah.
The guy just shows up and he's like, you want to sell your box to me?
Maybe you should be able to give them to your rep, and your rep would give you 50 cents a box, and then your rep can take them to Padron and give you get his $1 a box.
Somebody's got a solution.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I hated it when Oscar, here comes Oscar again, but Oscar did it with GTO. I hate the bundles that come in, but they're bundles of 25 instead of his boxes of 24.
Right.
And I think you're going to see more and more of that.
Yeah.
Just because the packaging costs, a simple cigar box at minimum's $4 to $5.
Yeah. I'm just hoping the quality doesn't go down.
Right.
That's what scares me to death. Not enough. Just to back off a leaf of one of the cigars, maybe even a size.
I don't think you can afford to do that as a cigar manufacturer, because if you do that, then you become a lesser cigar. Right. And if your competition doesn't do that, there's still going to be cigars like this out there. And if Rocky backed off his quality a little bit, all of a sudden he's going to lose sales to Oliva Perdomo. Sure. If General backed off their quality a little bit, all of a sudden they're losing to Fuente and Perdomo again or something like that. Yeah. We notice that stuff, and we go, oh, they're charging me more, and it tastes like, or there's something different about this cigar.
And I think you're on to something about the boxes now that I think about it, because the boxes, of course, even though the boxes are not necessarily a huge markup, there's still a markup, especially for the design of the box.
Right.
So it very well could be you may see more of the bundles come in, and with one box for these things to come in with for a refill.
What's this lid I've got here? This off the Cro-Magnon. I mean, that's a half-inch thick piece of wood, and the whole box that way.
Right. Yeah.
I know. I took one of them home.
What do you think
that's insane?
I use that as a spacer for my computers, depending on the table I'm using.
Right.
But what do you think that box costs? That's got to be a $9 or $10 box.
Yeah.
And it's a box of 25 cigars or 20 cigars. This is $10. 50 cents of every cigar is buying you that box.
You would think so, yeah.
Which, in my opinion, I'm like, get rid of the box. I'd rather not have that.
Right. And that's why I think there's going to be one box come in, the rest of them bundles, and the box is going to be a refill.
I think it'll be the store can order what they want in a mix. You can either order box or bundles, and the store should order a box for their shelf to replenish, and maybe one or two boxes. Because if I'm coming in to buy you a box of cigars for a special occasion, I'm not going to give you a cellophane wrap bundle. Exactly. But there should be, you've got to have maybe just the celebratory cigars are that way. The instead of having, every Perdomo comes in five sizes, but maybe just the Robusto, the Epicurean, the Churchill, you stock in a box, and the off sizes, the torpedoes and that you keep in bundles. And then of course, some of your other back stock in those sizes, but I think it's something we're going to see, because the manufacturers are going to have to think of something to bring the price of cigars down. I mean, I've been doing this for 20-ish years, really hardcore for 15. Gary knows. And it used to be, a $6-7 cigar was a good cigar. And that $6-7 cigar in today's market is
that's lower line.
That's $9 to to $12 cigar, and with these new increases, that's now an $11 to $15 cigar.
Correct, sir.
And that's whatever you want to say. That's minimum wage. For the average minimum wage person to smoke a cigar, they work an hour to smoke a decent cigar.
Right.
Now, granted, a lot of our customers aren't minimum wage earners, but you got to start somewhere, and this hobby has to be available to all economic classes.
Right.
You
know what I'd like to see? It's gonna sound weird. I'd like to see the band wars.
Interesting.
Cigar bands, like, because they're not producing boxes.
Right.
Now all of them, even like you got one cigar sitting here that's not a part of this, little bitty small band on it. They start producing like 1-inch bands. Everybody starts doing that because they don't have the box to show off.
I listened to an interview with Steve Saka.
Yeah.
His Cro-Magnon, is it Cro-Magnon? Not
Cro-Magnon.
Cro-Magnon. His what's that simple one? Umagog.
Umagog, yeah.
The Umagog bands cost him like 20 or 30 cents a band.
That's it.
The bands he's using on his Nico
Rustica or Liga Privada.
No, Saka and his Dunbarton stuff.
Sin Compromiso.
The Compromisos and that. He's paying almost $1 a band.
Wow.
So now you've got a box of 13 cigars. That's $13 extra because of the band. The band wars could get just as expensive as the boxes.
That's true. That's a good point.
But Saka believes in packaging. Packaging sells, because when he's sitting on the shelf with his 12 or 13 brown sticks, guess what's sitting next to him? 10 or 12 brown sticks, and next to that's 10 or 12 brown sticks.
Yeah,
you've got to have something to separate yourself. So he's got that whole Musta de Saka line that everything comes in a coffin. Costs you a little $19 cigar, but you're probably paying $3 for the coffin.
Yeah.
Sure.
But so there is something to do with the packaging, and I don't think Alfonso should offer theirs in a bundle or box choice.
Right. Theirs is too good.
Maybe. The people buying this with their income, if you're paying $1,000 for a box of cigars, I don't think you're going to care if you get a free $50 cigar. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. I know some of the richest people in this town, and you got
cheap bastards.
Flies come out of their wallet when it opens because they're
Yes.
tight with their money.
What's up, Mr. Don Juan?
But it's something to be seen on how the manufacturers are going to deal with this, because we can't just keep increasing prices. On my car podcast, we talk about it a lot with cars. The average price of a new car now is almost $50,000.
Isn't that something?
That's the average income.
Yeah.
In some areas, that's double the average income. And houses are $300,000 and $400,000. I mean, at some point, the money's going to run out, and you have to figure out how to go back. And some people are saying, in the car world, these new subscription programs might be beneficial because they might reduce the price of a car.
Right. Spread the load out a
because all the cars are going to be built the same, which will lower the building costs. But you're not going to have to buy all of these options if you don't want them. They're there. If you want them, you can pay for them. But if you need to go out and buy a simple car right now, the cheapest thing in Ford's lineup is their Ford Maverick pickup truck.
Right.
$21,000, $22,000, which is still $400 or $500 a month with no money down.
And it's funny you say that, because it made me think, because I'm from the gaming realm. When I was a kid, the price of games have gone up. It used to be 40, then it went to 50, and then in Georgia, I remember when I used to sell them, $64.19 after tax. Now they are $70 average most games.
Stick to board games.
$70, $80.
Those are expensive too, man.
Are they really?
Holy, if you get, because most board games, they don't simple board games, nothing. That's like shoots and ladders. No. You're talking board games are complex now.
No, I was in a Target the other day and I saw, buy one game, get 150% off. And I go, this might be a cool little couple's Christmas present.
Right.
$22 to buy Candyland.
Right. Candyland. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, not that would be something. Scrabble was like $29, $30, and that's the simple game. My mom's got the freaking deluxe Scrabble that cost her like $800 on a wood stand and pewter pieces. This is just so 2 games at half price, $35, $40.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Everything's going up.
Everything's expensive
now, and for me, the gaming room, it's understandable. Because the complexity of the programming has drastically changed.
But
it's no longer 10,000 lines of code to make the game. It's 400,000.
Well,
I mean, it's crazy.
The graphics are so stupid right now.
And what have most of the consoles gone to? Subscriptions.
Right.
Right now we're having a big FTC debate about Microsoft buying Activision or whatever.
Yep. They bought Activision, which is crazy that they did.
But all those games are now going to subscription models.
Yep.
Because the programming's so expensive. But you make a whole bunch of people can't afford to pay say like Adobe Audition for our audio editing for the podcast. To go out and buy that program, it's going to be $3,000 or $4,000 to get the whole thing. But they'll give it to you for $35 a month for the rest of your life.
Right.
So, just like I said with cars, subscription models with the games is where they have gone.
Yeah.
Even the systems. I was looking at PS5s this week, anywhere between $399 and $699, depending on the accessories that go with it. And that's without a game. Xbox One S, Xbox One X, same price range. I mean, you buy your subscription to go with it.
Wow.
So you get 20 games, but it's $39.95 a month. And so it's like selling your old games. It's like selling you a game a month.
Right.
So I don't mean to bring this into a whole economic podcast, but that's the way we got, everything's going. Expense is proportionate to income, and unfortunately, income's not keeping up with expense.
Yeah. Well, this has been a great night, y'all. Do we have anything else we want to talk about, Mr. John?
Because we had technical problems last week, we missed last week, so we really couldn't update you on some of the happenings.
Right.
We didn't get a movie out to you guys, so we're going to go nice and simple. We're going to do a Festivus episode again next week.
Festivus for the rest of us.
But instead of us bitching too much,
it's going to happen.
We'll each have our complaints or two.
We'll bring.
And there's this little old lady in Tuscaloosa who's probably got this complaint about this mini driver.
Ship her the link.
Right.
But
send it to her.
We're going to do the cast of Seinfeld.
Right.
What would the Seinfeld people smoke cigars, excluding Kramer's, because Kramer smokes cigars?
Do we know what cigars he smokes?
Cubans, that's all I know.
He always pretended they were Cubans. What he really smoked, I could probably find out because I think they've talked about it on Spike's Car Radio.
We should find out.
All I need is just the band. If I could see him smoking,
he never had a band on his.
If I could see that, if I could see any type of the band, I can nail it.
Yeah.
So I should send you the screenshot from Boston Legal then and see if you can pick out exactly what Denny Crane.
So and what that's going to be next week?
We'll talk about that next week in addition to our third pick for Cigar of the Year.
Right.
The 29th, we will not be broadcasting. That's our Christmas break. And we will have a couple of episodes live streamed in January.
Right.
After that, we are going to a audio only release for a period of time.
Right.
We're going to get rid of the video. We think we're going to be able to bring you a better show, better quality of show. And we might join the video again in a little bit, but I'll be honest, I'm a producer for the podcast and I much prefer producing audio than video.
Yeah.
And I think it gives you much more opportunity to consume this information.
Right. And that's not to say that you're not going to be able to go to the YouTube channel and listen because we're going to release the audio only on YouTube so that you can still listen to it if you don't do podcasting. If that's not your avenue, we're still going to have that option available for you. So a lot of good changes coming up. I'm telling you, the first quarter of 2023, it's going to be a big year for everybody.
We've been sitting down, talking, mapping outlines. Well, yeah,
it's going to be some good stuff. I think we're going to have a good time with it. The only thing I was concerned about, I was telling Gary, is it's getting cold and I don't have anywhere indoors to smoke near my house.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be bundled up and
got an idea for you after we get off of here. I got an idea for you.
Okay. All right.
I got an idea for you too. You got an extra $50 or $60 a month.
What's that?
Get one of the little rent-to-own buildings.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, that's not a bad idea.
That's what I used to do.
If I had a workshop in my backyard, which I've been wanting to build to store stuff, I don't have the money to do it. But if I did, I'd fire up my forge and I'd just use that as a heat source and just be smoking out there.
Yes, sir, buddy. Yes, sir.
Just sit outside and have a nice glow next to the anvil and just.
That's the way to do it right there, man. It really is. Oh my God. Yeah. And the cold air actually wakes your senses up. And so your palate would be a little bit more fresh. You can taste better. And John, heavens alive, Sommelier John over there could probably pick out, the unpitted prunes out of this. Right.
That's right.
Here.
That's right. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing.
What you doing for the next week?
As far as locations?
Yep.
So tomorrow I'm going to be at Trust Vegas Friday night. We're actually doing a Christmas party. Now it is a buy-in, so don't just show up and think you can get all the food. You're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to pay somebody to have that luxury.
Dirty Santa?
No, I don't think there's gonna be any dirty Santas. There's gonna be some dirty people there, but that's typical. It should be a good night. Should be a good night. I'm in discussions with the guys, with Harris, of me potentially doing Saturday nights instead of Friday nights. I haven't made any decisions on that yet. But right now we're just doing Fridays late night so people can come in and have a good Friday night. And that's what we're looking at. And that's where I'll be tomorrow from 6 till midnight. And there's a great restaurant right there, by the way. Marty's, great bar. They've got pool tables. They've got live music. They do karaoke. They got all the stuff.
They're right down there on the corner, right?
Right. Walking.
Yeah.
You can literally walk to it. It's right in the same shopping center. The guy who owns it is phenomenal. He's a wonderful human being.
Is that Chinese restaurant still next to you?
It is, and it's still good.
Yeah,
it's still good.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
No. But yeah, that's where I'm going to be. Where are you going to be at, Gary?
I will be nowhere this weekend, but next weekend I'll be at Vitola. Come see me. I got plenty of Alfonso, and I have been selling. So, and I've been, oh my goodness,
man, I feel sorry for you working that Saturday.
Yeah, no kidding. Next Saturday?
Yeah.
Will I be working next Saturday? No, I will not be. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah, that's Christmas Eve.
You're right. No, I will not be that Saturday. It's going to be Saturday after next. So it will be the New Year's Eve Saturday.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was wondering.
And we probably won't. I know I won't be working that Friday.
I was busy as snot this last Saturday.
Oh, yes,
and it's going to be bad the next. Lord, and I will be 280 this Sunday, and that's the last chance you get to see me working here at 280, other than the podcast stuff for this year.
Nice. Okay.
Because I won't be back until probably New Year's Day.
There you go.
Really good. Yeah. Good for you, man.
Maybe I might be traveling that day. I haven't decided yet.
That would be good too.
Probably should let Harris know. Harris, I might need the first off. I know you listen to this podcast, so take this as my request.
Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that follow button, the bell notifications, all the things. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for a wonderful 2022.
Thank you.
This has been wonderful.
It has.
If you have any tips or suggestions, you can always email us, message us, somehow get and communicate with us for things you'd like to see. Because we're going to be forming the show list, so to speak, kind of like the schedule in advance. And if there's something you would really you have a passion that you would love to hear us talk about, feel free to email us. Cigar Smoking Underground.
Right now it is Yeah, Cigars Smoking Underground.
Yeah.
Gets a little funny with the S's at gmail.com. Maybe that will change by then.
Yeah.
Harris and I are working on a couple of things. This transition to audio is something I'm actually doing with my business and all of my podcasts because we can do a lot. I can produce a lot better show
Yes,
for
you
you
can
guys.
edit, produce,
And
everything.
we'll be back with video at some point because Devin is a video whore.
I love it.
But we'll
I
figure
love
it out.
live.
But no, we're still video for the next couple of weeks. Till
Right,
we
right.
tell you cigar of the year, at least sometime in January, we'll switch over to audio.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I think it's going to be a good run. I really do. And then here's the hoping and praying it takes off even better in the audio format. And then if there's a desire, if there's a, you know what, we need to start doing a video version of this again because people are demanding it, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah,
I really am.
that would be great.
So the also too is that crap, I don't forget what I was going to say. Never mind.
All right. Well, there you go. He's already turning Alzheimer.
That's it. Senility is my best.
Senility. So everybody, thank you for joining us today. Thank you, John.
I'm on that Easter egg.
Thank you, Gare Bear.
Yes, and you too.
And we'll see you on the next exciting adventure of Smoking Underground.
Yay!
and catch up on your Seinfeld.
That's right.
And
The
Seinfeld.
Festivus episode.
Man,
I don't know what
I'm
it is,
So looking forward
but
to next
watch
week.
it anyway,
Dude,
just
that's
so
gonna be
you.
cool.
I'm gonna go find it and I'm gonna watch the crap out of it.
Oh, that's gonna be so good.